No way. Testing, testing, testing. Yep, okay, we're live. Audio, so alright. Trying to do some more billable work. After they're playing around with Xcode and not being able to make anything happening. I need a win. So we're going to do the work I was originally going to do this morning. And my reward will be a chicken pot pie that is heating up in the oven. It's even one of those local, a weird local brand, a French Canadian brand of chicken pot pie. Around these here parts, there's a lot of French Canadian food influence. So they make these pork pies. I think they're called tortillas. They're pretty good, but I had never gotten the chicken pie one. There's a salmon pie too that have been too chicken, no pun intended, to try out. But anyway, we're gonna do some JavaScript. We're gonna do the marker sprite optimization. So actually, I should maybe call this. We're doing some optimization stuff, so I'm updating my caption here. And alright, let me open up all my crap again. So I'll show my screen. So over here we are going to change this from this project, which I couldn't get to work, to this code project. And we're going to close this thing and we're going to open up that repo. I'm going to put that its own screen. And over here, I guess I'm going to open up a terminal window. Somehow. Shell, new window. And shrink that down so it fits there. And we'll do dev, cd play, cd build, gulp. And let's see if that's working. It's on the correct branch. And what was I doing again? I was working on the marker sprite optimization. So now that we're running that, I need to run particle game on this side. This is providing the source graphics. Let's hide this. And then what we want to do is run it in another browser. Just for fun, I'll put this in Safari. Oh, that was another thing I was supposed to do today. And see if this actually works. So this runs a display client. And I had to refresh that. I need to update this protocol so it sends across everything. So that's actually working. That's kind of joyful. We don't even officially support Safari, which is... So theoretically, the display on the right is a mirror of the display on the left. And it's running pretty much as fast as it can. Let me see. I wonder what the frame rate is on this. Where is the developer settings? Is it here? No, is it here? No. How come I can never remember how to get the developer tools to come up? I always type the keyboard shortcut. Anyway. I think it's under... Where is it? It's under profile? No, it's under show console drawer, more tools, console animations, rendering. Show FPS meter. So it's running 60 frames a second here. Let's close this drawer. That's interesting. So there's a few hiccups. These are probably garbage collections that are causing these little spikes up here. I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't really know yet, though. GPU memory is going up and down. It's going between 2.9 megabytes and 4.8 megabytes. So that's something we would want to optimize out if we can figure out where it's coming from. But the real test is here on the iPad. This is where it's running slow. And oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to go to, I just ran 2 instances. So I'm running display client on this. And I'm refreshing this to force everything to refresh. And this is not even working. It's just locking up. I guess one thing I should figure out how to do is how to set up the debugging, JavaScript debugging on Safari. So maybe that'll give me an idea of what's going on. And Ben sent me some instructions on that, how he sets it up. Let's see if I can find it. Ben, let's see. Checking my mail. Where was that? I saw it somewhere. That's weird. I thought it was in this message here. Alright, well, I might as well just look in this. JavaScript, debug, iOS. Is there a way to debug blah blah blah? How do you do this? Remote Web Inspector for mobile Safari. Either USB attached iOS 6 device or Xcode 4.5 running an iOS 6 emulator. In your simulator or device, open Settings, Safari Advanced Web Inspector. I've never seen that. Before I do that, can I debug JavaScript mobile Chrome? On iOS. Chrome DevTools and any browser with remote debugging. This is from an old message. New, use WinRAR. What's that? WinRAR. Simple debugging. It's a bit of work. Expect the DOM, see styling, DOM changes to play with the console. And also Node.js. Open, copy target script code. I don't even know what that means. Let's read this more slowly. So you install this npm tool called WinRAR. What? Bound hosts all. Open the Wi-Fi IP address. Copy the target script code. So you get the IP address of the actual device itself. And then click on the debug client user interface. Wi-Fi IDP address. I guess it's some sort of communication protocol. Doesn't sound ideal, but let's go for the Safari approach. Open Safari on your Mac and enable the DevTools. How do you do that? Develop. This is a really old answer. Let's find a more recent one. More tools, anytime, past year, Crash inside the application. Debugging websites in iOS Chrome. Web developer extensions. This is interesting. This website looks like it has a whole bunch of things. Show the development in the menu bar. Show web inspector. Alright, that sounds what I want. View. Develop. Show web inspector. Oh, web inspector popped up. What does it mean? What does it do? Is it the web inspector for this? How do I connect to another one? Oh wait, this is just regular web inspector crap. Mobile Safari. Touch settings on the home screen. Alright, so I'm touching it. Settings. Safari. Uh-oh. Safari. Then it says touch advanced. You don't see that option. Oh, here it is at the bottom. Advanced. Set debug console to true. That's a JavaScript web inspector. So I need to plug this thing into the Mac somehow. And do I even have any free? I don't have any free ports. Or do I? Let's see. One of these things has got to be a lightning connector. Is this a lightning connector? No. Is this a lightning connector? Yes. All right. Plugging this from my power station. Have this cable, and I'm going to plug it into this USB hub. It's a USB 2.0 hub, so it doesn't create interfering Bluetooth. Not that it actually even works. So now if I plug this in, what will happen? Bad things? Oh no, it's opening iTunes. It's opening iPhotos. No, don't do that. No. Do you want this computer to allow information? Yes. Trust. I told it to trust me. Okay, it finally went away. And it opened iTunes, and you can see all the embarrassing music I listened to. My God, David Archuleta. So, okay, quit iTunes. And so now, now what do I do? A debug bar now will appear on top of the web page in Mobile Safari. Really? Where is it? Can't find Safari anymore. Safari. I don't see any debug bar. Oh, or do I? Nothing's happening. Let's go back to here. Let's refresh this. I'll make everything work again. And I see nothing. I don't see anything that looks like a debug bar. Then again, is this Safari or is this... This is Safari. I mean, let's pull this thing over. This is what I'm looking at. And I don't see it doing anything. I can see it's not drawing the background. Oh, okay, it just updated, which is kind of exciting. But it's not exactly what I was looking for. Adjust this a little bit. You can go a little bit higher, and this can go a little lower, and then this can extend out. And this can be a little farther away then, so it doesn't hit my arm. All right, now this is I got the over-the-shoulder cam. All right, so over the shoulder cam, this is what I'm looking at. And I'm looking for this mobile Safari thing. Display client. I don't see a debug bar anywhere. And in fact, these icons over here, these look pretty old. If I'm looking at the screen over there. That's what happened. And I'm just expanding this. So it's connected. Do I actually have to? Oh, maybe I had to do it over here. And I go to develop, show web inspector maybe, and will just show me the remote device. No. Is this just like a super old website? That's where it set the advanced gone debug console to true. Let's make sure I did all that. That was Safari. Oh, Safari website data. What does this do? It's just like places they've been. JavaScript. Connect to, so it says you can enable to use the web inspector, connect Safari to your computer using a cable and access your iPad from the develop menu. You can enable the develop menu at Safari's advanced preferences. So apparently, is there actually, oh, okay. I can see use for development. So there's actually an option right here on the screen. So if I should make a split camera desktop view. So I'm looking on here. This is Safari, develop, automatically show. Alright, so now it's connected to, allegedly connected to my Safari. And I still don't see crap. Develop, show error console. Alright, this is the debug output from it. That's cool. I'm going to move this over here, I guess. And I'm going to make this smaller because the display console doesn't need to be that big. And alright, so let me refresh this. And let me then refresh this and see if this updates. Actually, is it updating? You know what? I don't think this is the console, the right console. This is the console for this. So let's can this. Safari, iPad, webs. Okay, that's more like it, I think. Let's refresh here. Where is the console? What do you mean the cross origin's been denied? I thought I fixed that. Alright, I guess my fix didn't fix it. Let me go switch this back to the display server mode. And let's go back to crap interface. Safari. Alright, so it's definitely give me this cross origin issue again. Alright, so the fix I had implied was to the server. That would be 1401 web serve. Oops, let's do it up here. Server. Or it's step web serve. Step web serve. And I thought that I had fixed this. I guess I should do it here. What's the best way to do this? I had originally added it to server 1401 server res dot this. That should have added it. But maybe not. We'll do it here again. Under here, we'll add these. It should have forced us to refresh. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that fixed that. So apparently that original bug... no, it's screwing up again. Where'd Safari go? Safari is where here. And develop. Console. This cross-origin policy thing is still breaking. Although it briefly worked. Cannot connect to server. When I saved that file, it should have relaunched the server, but maybe it didn't. So looking here at the terminal window, we resave this. Should be reloading the entire server instance. It should be allowing cross-origin. The cat is making sad noises. So running the server here. And did it lose the connection again? No. No, it's just screwing up. Let me see if it works on Safari on Chrome. Chrome is experiencing the same issue. All right. Just to make sure that it's not this. Let me actually restart from scratch. Restart. Still the same issue. I thought I got this working yesterday, so why is it failing now? That code should be working. I did save it. Console log. Enabling headers. Let's make sure that actually it's showing up in the terminal that this code block is running. It might be that these files are cached now, though. So let me do a gulp clean. Let's clean everything. See if this makes a difference. That's not what I want to see. So this should force it to refetch all the assets and reserve them. As you can see, there's a delay on it. But I'm still getting the issue here. And let me copy this link. Just paste it into regular Safari. And so it's able to load it here. The cross origin isn't working because here I'm localhost. Maybe that's the issue? What is this string actually setting? Allow origin. Oh, I wonder if it's and make sure that the enabling message appeared. Yeah, that's still, so this code is actually being activated when the media path is set, the res is being set. Let me remove it from here and go to 14:1 server and add it here. That would tell me that if that code is actually executing. Blarg access control. Close. Gulp clean all. Or gulp clean should be fine. Gulp. And over here, rerun this. Blarg access control. All those. So it's running every time. So that seems like it's a good thing. So my theory is... No, actually, my theory isn't working. In some cases, it's loading. In some cases, it's not. Let's go back to Safari. And what is display data? No, because there's no registered handler for it. Okay, so let's rerun this code here. And we should be able to reload this. And we are seeing the same error. My theory was, because it's trying to connect, it's trying to connect to localhost. Of course it can't connect to localhost. That's not actually an address. Do I need to run it from here? Maybe that's the issue. Yes, that was the bug. So with media serve, okay. And one thing I didn't notice was before was the link that was being passed along was actually referring to localhost. Localhost makes no sense to an iPad on the Wi-Fi network. It needs an IP address or a resolvable domain name. And so my media server code is emitting localhost at some point. And it's because the media get, nope, where is it? Not in here, it's here. It's under media, cache path. It's returning some kind of link. When it sends the file, it has to be compiling the address somehow. Oops. And the res send file. Where is it getting that? Oh, okay. Because in display list, we need to detect this somehow. And capture, how is this working? This captures the data. All it returns is displayed data. It's providing the texture name at some point for sprites. That's my pie checker. Actually, it's another 15 minutes from now. Pie checker is the texture name. It's texture name. I needed to throw an error if this happens. here, source file. And the first time we check this, if we're pushing any kind of sprite with the source file, we need to actually crash it if it's producing localhost. I hesitate to put a check here because it seems inefficient. There must be another way we can do it when we initialize capture. Sit handler construct. Want us to crash as soon as possible too. So mod set handler initialize function. Where would I get that information? Actually, initialize, I don't think that's early enough. We'll probably put it in construct. Create visual, pre-allocate visuals. This is related to the optimization I want to do, but I need to fix this bug first. Make sure that host app is running on a real domain name or IP address. Otherwise, media serves will via server or step web serve will pass localhost as a path name and crash. So where am I saving that information? I think it's probably in X settings. Document domain. Let's see what document domain looks like. Display list, console log, display list, document domain. Or let's just throw this. That'll make us crash right away. So here it knows it's local. But if I did localhost 3000 and ran this, and ran the display server, it sees it's localhost. So what I want to do here is if document domain is equal to localhost, throw playback display list module will not work with a server work the server is invoked from localhost. Use IP address use HTTP IP address or other domain. Oh, actually, I should be able to I think the IP address is available at this point. And I might actually even have... No, it's not available yet. Net URL. Or is it? Is net URL available now? Console log. X settings. Oops. We're not loading X settings. Step X settings. Just curious here. X settings, net URL. What will happen? Oops. What will happen? If I had to make it crash. Where is it? La. Do. It didn't crash at all that time. Oh, because I'm not running from localhost. Oh, I am running from localhost. That should have totally crashed. Oh, because I misspelled document domain. No, it's not set yet. I can't rely on that. Throw. Console warn. Use IP address or domain name. Display list invoked. Error. Detected error. And launch. And so this should only happen if people use the display list. It's providing good error results. Okay, good. So now if we just invoke this from what its actual address is, that should be fine. So now we go back to particles. And theoretically, let's see if this works. Refresh this. No, it's still crashing. Sequence ice does not exist. I spoke too soon. Oh no. That's weird. That's strange. It's acting weird now. I see that's working. This is what, Chrome? And here's crapped out. It is Safari. And we are running Let's go back to here, play, let's run the display client. Oh, what was that? Could not load 14 on master settings file, game settings YAML, unexpected CSS token. What? In Bootstrap? Why would it not be able to load the master settings file? Game settings YAML. So settings JS 250. What's happening in sysloop? Let's take it sweet time. What are these unexpected CSS tokens? These shit. Oh, it's loading a less file? Modules, vendor, bootstrap, CSS, less mixins. Why is this crap in here? Listen to this. What's in line? Padding 3px, 20px. Display block. That doesn't look anything wrong with this. Unless there's some mystery character somewhere that I don't see. Drop down header, display block. That's valid. Padding 3x, px, 20px. That looks valid too. I don't see what's going on. Am I missing something? Padding. This is the normal shortcut method. This is used everywhere. It's even used up here. There's no bug in that I can see. That's the line before it that's the issue. Display block, that looks perfectly legal to me. Now, but the one afterwards. Font size 12 pixels, that looks right to me. Well, I should have just ignored it. I don't know why these less files are being included, though. Maybe the bootstrap file is expecting a preprocessor to handle it for it? Who is even loading that less file? Gradients, these look like carousel for the slide wrapper. Why do we have less mixins? Let's see. Anyway, I wonder what's causing this. It's running here. Console. This can't load the master settings file is what's really worrying me. It only seems to run one. Well, maybe it didn't. Let's reload this. Can I clear this console? It didn't do anything. How do I clear this console? Clear log. Didn't do crap. So refresh that, refresh this, and refresh this. I can't tell if it's actually doing anything. Well, this is not the most tremendously useful console output. I guess it's better than nothing. These are all sprite declarations. And it's still missing the why can't I clear this log? I guess I can't actually do any inspection. Yep, something happened. But again, it's just running super slow. It took a while for it to even get that message. That happened like a minute ago. So I refreshed this. I said if I refresh this, what should happen is after a while it should send, display data. It's not doing crap here. This thing is just stuck. Let me try something. Just to ensure that this debugger is working, what I'm going to do is disable the problematic code, which is, where would that be? Not here, not there. Is it not a molecule binder? Not here. Is it in display list? It would be... So the position data, it should be in render, which I think is up here. If it is of a type, that's an update mesh entry, which is around line 441. This is the issue. Just make that so it never runs. Here it's stuck. You did see it create stuff up. It did receive some display data the first time. It was empty. I think it just gets stuck and never receives it. So the display camera data just got sent. Here it's not processing. Oh, there it goes. That happened much quicker, but it's still bogging down. It's unable to keep up. I wonder if this can give me a sense of the resources it's using. Or what's this timeline? Network requests, layout and rendering. Can I see its? I kind of want to see its usage. That's just bogging. Local storage. It seems to be unable to get anything. It's like this thing is just like locked. Let's disable some more features. I didn't think that this was, oops, this would be an issue. God. Set surround color. This is a set radius. Where's set radius happening? Set radius is recreating geometry. Here. but it only happens once, so it shouldn't be really that big of an issue. Let's see if this automatically explodes. This cable's making me angry. Nope, it's not getting that. So come on, you can do it. Refresh. I see it moving. It's like stuck doing something, but what? What's up with this? Okay. Now let's slow down the update rate. I think it's just being overwhelmed. I'm pretty sure that's okay. The update rate is not set here, but it's set in here. Frame. Oops, I guess I didn't do that. Update. Where's the update handler? Here. Looks like I got rid of all this stuff. Let's add var frame counter is equal to 0. If m frame counter plus frame, let's do every 10 frames, then we'll have it broadcast the list. Alright, so this is going to be running full speed here, but on this side, actually I might miss it. Until I fix that protocol, I'm probably going to have to just override it. So under display list renderer, let's make some defaults so it matches the current setup. Right now, it's supposed to read the camera and renderer setup directly. Where would that be? Am I just doing this wrong too? Frame counter 0, modulus 10. Should only do it every 10 frames. Or should broadcast those every 10 frames. Let me just save it again, just make sure it actually did something. I am seeing some lagging happening on this side. What if the network is actually being flooded? It should not be. I should get that keyboard. Relaunch. This is not even receiving the message. It should when I save it. Let's make sure it's actually doing something. Where's Safari again? MPB15 local. Let's make sure that this client is running. You can see it looks exactly the same because it's not getting the camera expander. it gets sent a little bit late, not right away. So this should get it after a few seconds. So now this one got it. So still, well, it seems to be updating every 10 frames. On the right here, you can see that this is updating at a much slower rate than the one on the right. But it's also, the surround isn't showing anymore, which is, I thought I did not change that, but maybe I did. 441-ish. Where's the set radius? Should be there. No, I didn't comment it out. None of this should be executing now. Alright, so that did reload. And it's waiting for it to initialize. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. So it is bogging heavily here. It is unable to keep up with even that refresh rate. Let's try making it 20. One thousand, two, one. Nope. Yeah, it's just having all kinds of issues. You can see it here. They're kind of going in spurts, if even. This used to run pretty well, though. What's going on? What else could be making this screw up? Maybe I wonder if I can get a profiler working on this. How do I profile on start timeline recording? JavaScript events, running your layouts. Okay. So what do we have here? Physics.js is running. It shouldn't be. Where the hell is this happening? That was eliminated quite a long time ago. Why is this running twice? Garbage collection. So let's take a look at this timeline. Can I record this timeline? Stop it there. What can I see out of this? Why is this running though? That should not be loaded. Oh, unless particle never was updated not to use it. Animation frame, auto render, timer fired. Is there a way I can display? I want to see what the memory heap is. How do I do that? What's all this stuff? Total frame 60, 16, 16, 16. Something weird is going on. All right. Let's write down some theories. Theory number 1 is graphics drawing is taking too long. Theory number 2 is something is allocating too many resources per frame. 3 could be too much network data. What else could be slowing this down? What I want to try to do, though, is I want to time how long a frame is rendering. I guess another thing to do would just be to test this. Let's look at the Chrome version. iOS 10.2 is available for my iPad and I'm ready to install. We'll install that later. Let's look back at you over here. Oops, I forgot to look at my window. No one's watching. Let's run Chrome. Boink. And this is running the display client again. And let's see how bad this is. Let's refresh that. And see if this rises. This is actually running okay. Well, no, okay, just slowed down. Oh, that's hitching again. It's like is there a memory leak? Let's switch this around. Let's have this run the particle game and have Chrome run the client, since I can actually debug this more easily. Okay, you're the client now, and you're the server. And this is also a client. I had to refresh this again. I should add the display request at some point. All right, so blop, blop. I guess the ones I want to compare to are these. They're not running anywhere in sync. This one seems to be running behind. So it's like taking a long time to process the frames. I wish there was a way I could see what the memory allocation overall is. I think these have 2 gigabytes of memory available. What is the heap size here? Here it's only using 2.4 megabytes. And it's fixed. That's still like 400K. Oh, no, it just jumped to 1.3 used because I scrolled it, I think. Let's make this like that. So now it's 2.2 megabytes. Oh, that's interesting. So I think it depends on how much of this is showing. That's it. So it's smart enough about caching it. All right, so that's maybe misleading. So if I look at the timeline here, and we want to see the memory, let's capture 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. We can see that every 1 millisecond let's go from here to here. What do we have going on? The JS heap is 43 megabytes. It's rising to 46. It starts at a low of 42, so it's a 4 megabyte jump. And this is blue. What does that mean? Most of the time it's being spent scripting, but a lot of the time it's spent being idle. So it's not being pushed very hard at all. And what's this middle one? CPU network heap. Heap is going between 40 and 44 megabytes. So there's some jumping, and the period of jumping is from about, how does it tell me how long this interval is? It starts from, it's about 2000, let's say, or 24. This is about a second. Each of this is half a second. So every second it's jumping slowly. But you wouldn't think it should do that, because so what's going on here? Animation frame fired. Function called a renderer, auto renderer. What's this? Request animation frame. And that caused this whole rendering chain here. And this stuff is all happening in where? Yeah, not a whole lot's happening. Oh, I can update matrix. Okay, scroll this. Oh, good. It made render. I would have thought that there were more. So what am I looking at here? I'm looking at main. I guess that makes sense, because it's basically just called from. How is this working? Auto render. We're calling. Okay, we're calling update every. There shouldn't be auto rendering going on, should there? Well, updating display list periodically, which is, I think, is what this period is. And it's about 2100 to. This is like a frame, 16 frames a second. But the actual updates should be happening less frequently. I think that's maybe what this longer one is. This, for example. This looks much deeper. Yeah, this is our net message. Has on property. And so then the next frame is when it draws it. Nope, that's a regular auto render. How about this one? That's another regular auto render. There should be one that's based on the message, net message. Does a bunch of extension stuff. There should be an update routine somewhere, though. Is it this? Timer fired. Scan for images. Where is that? Content.js? What's in over here then? Recalculate style, animation, physics. Why is this firing? I need to write that, figure out. Why is physics.js firing? In the particle game. That should not be there anymore. But let me check to make sure it's not happening in the other apps. It shouldn't be happening in Bees. Let's capture 3-4 seconds. Do I see the physics frames rendering? This looks like normal. So I'm guessing that the particle game is including. Let's see, the render call should tell me, right? GPU. Oh, is it not showing me? Alright, anyway, that's mysterious. My pie is ready, so I should eat that before it burns. So I have some things to check out later. Marker sprite optimization. It's 8:42 right now. So I am going to stop for now and think about this as I'm eating. But I think I'm done for now. But anyway, thanks for watching. This was probably pretty difficult to understand. But you know, I just put these up there just to make some noise for people who are working and want something in the background, and it keeps me engaged. Just feel like I'm talking to somebody as I'm working through problems. And some people might find it interesting to see how another programmer is trying to solve problems, and they can feel better about how they do it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and maybe I'll be back later. Certainly tomorrow morning. Oh, wait, tomorrow's Saturday. So, you know, I'll be back on Monday, definitely, doing my morning What's Up stream and talk about what went on. So, have a good Friday.